Alright guys, in MRC part 2, here's what the clutch looks like. Things definitely pretty worn out, I would say. But not too shabby. I'm surprised that thing still gripped as good as it did. But I'm sure I lost a lot of power with it. It looks really glazed, really shiny. Alright guys, so here's the transmission. Let's see if I can pull this thing apart with one hand here. Maybe not. I might have to prop the phone up somehow. Let me try my other hand. See if we can get this back. There we go. Get this back case off for you guys. Alright. Actually doesn't look too dirty. Looks relatively clean. Just looks like it's kind of warped. The plastic right there, is that the grease? Oh, it's the grease, okay. I was gonna say, dang, ran this sucker so hard it got heated up and warped it, but all these gears look great, man. Wow. Yeah, I have to pop these bearings out, because I don't know how well they're... Oh, there's a screw right in there. I gotta get that screw out. Alright, let me get that screw out real quick, guys. Alright, guys. I had to use two hands to get it out, to get it over these ends of the shaft that the drive shaft screw onto, because it gets a little bit of buildup on there. So I'm going to get sandpaper or memory cloth, clean those shafts up. You got spacers or washers like shims in here, so be careful not to lose them when you take them out. Make sure they're in the correct place and such. Yeah, these bearings actually feel really good still. So I don't know if I'm really gonna mess with these bearings, but as you can see, there's not a lot of grease in here really at all. But it could be due to time, weather, and all that fun stuff. And then they have a gear inside a gear for the selector. Gotta be careful because I don't want to lose that shim. That goes into here. Oh, sorry. That goes into this guy. Here's your selector type thing. It's kind of like the front diff in a way. How it slides that back and forth on this shaft here. I know it's on one of these, but I'm not worried about not figuring out. Oh wait, yeah, it's on this one. My bad. This slides onto here and all that, but I'm not worried about not knowing where these go by the time I get stuff going for this thing here, because it's an RC tranny, so it's not that detrimental as it would be for a real vehicle, so that doesn't faze me one bit. But it definitely needs grease in this tranny. Doesn't look like it had really that much in it. So there you go, guys. There's a look at the transmission on the inside. Pretty easy. Like how they geared everything and all that stuff. Pretty cool. So there's this part of part 2, and yeah, we'll go further along. I'm gonna repaint these to the frame rails and all that, make it look all nice and new again ish. Alright, thanks guys. So here's the damage. Like I thought, it was definitely a portal gear. Sheared the teeth right off of it. See that? Bam, she was hungry. She took a big bite out of it. You know, I really beat the hell out of this truck, guys. I mean, seriously. I mean, you see Kevin Toolbit or Tabla or however you say his last name on YouTube and how he is with his crawlers, I'm just as bad, if not the same, as Kevin with my stuff. And this thing's been going a year and a half now, and it finally killed that gear. That's amazing. That's really amazing. And you can see some of the teeth stuck on that gear. Seeing the groove there? So that's why it was locking up on me. I manually unlocked the diff, which, see that chunk of piece? That's the selector. That's supposed to go on the end of that rod there. It's missing the top half that rod, or cable, sorry, loops into to switch that selector on your diff right there to make it slide and lock, unlock, all that good stuff. So, and you can see that's all brown, and you can tell mud and water's getting in there. And the front diff, they do sell this plastic part right there and brass. I'm gonna get those for sure from, what is it, Yaw Racing or something like that, I believe. Don't hold me to it, but I believe that's who I saw make those. They're like 23, 28 bucks a piece, which ain't bad. But so the reason why I don't have this guy out right now, the reason why I probably won't for a little while now, is dang it, even cracked that tooth. Look at that. That sucker's cracked right there. I was about to send this whole thing rounded. Both of those are cracked. Wow. Anyway, as you can see, I broke one off when I first installed these. Well, my lovely, I need to quit being cheap with my tools and using these and these and these. I really should buy me a diamond set bit, like the bits diamond bit for these hexes, because these two will not come out because I stripped them with the lovely little Allen wrenches over there. So now I gotta get a Dremel and make a slot into them to use a flathead screwdriver to get them out. Or I may just leave this because I want real brass. This ain't even brass, this is aluminum. And yeah, these GPMs are garbage. They suck. These screws, I had to work them in and out a couple times, these ones back here, to get them to thread in, and some of them aren't even all the way down. So yeah, and I'm sure it's the same on this back side here. I had to do that with some of them in and out till I can get them in there. But yeah, GPM, they suck. It's not that heavy really, it's pretty light honestly. So, but if you use these GPMs, I think honestly with anything you should probably tap and rethread any kind of aluminum or brass before you run the screw into them. So one, you don't have the head snap off like that, and two, you end up stripping out your hex. Even though I have no good tools really, you won't do that. You won't strip it out. Just tap and thread it before installation is what I recommend. So I don't know, I might get real brass instead of this wannabe aluminum brass stuff, because it really is aluminum. As you can see, it's not brass. So, but anyway, gotta rip that stuff off and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I was thinking about getting the front and rear diff cover dills right there in brass. See, this thing's all disgusting, all brown. Definitely getting mud and water in there in this front diff here. But You know, as you can see, all the screws are brown, all rusted. So that's why I'm going to get another screw set, stainless steel. That screw's getting all brown. Do you see that? Rusted. But anyway, there's the carnage where I figured it was. So that concludes part 2 of damage. The transmission, when I cracked it open, it was cherry. The bearings are perfect. So all I did is re-greased it all up inside there, cleaned it out, and re-greased it all up with I know this ain't the proper grease, guys, but it's high temp disc brake wheel bearing grease. So I use that, you know, high temp grease. It's not waterproof, but it's grease. I wanted to get marine grease, but I haven't had a chance to go get it. I just cracked into this thing last minute and started tearing into it. But there you go, guys. This concludes episode 2 for right now. But like I said, comment down below if you want me to throw aluminum axle, complete axle housings, or complete axles period, and throw brass, all the brass you can put on and stuff like that, because they even have the links in brass. They even have the bottom of this shock mount in brass. They have the link mount, shock mounts, all these mounts right here in brass. That's in brass. You know what I mean? These are, of course, in brass. C-hubs, the knuckles, all that stuff. And beef patties. But if you want to see it all decked out like that, tranny, housing, everything, let me know. Catch you in the next episode.